We are back. So, like, this is technically a continuation. It's gonna look mad weird when I do this on YouTube, but my internet went out last time mid conversation of this. Oh. So we're just continuing where you left off. So that means technically you guys are getting minked twice in one video. Sorry.
That's crazy.
Sorry. Ugh. All right.
That's tough.
The last person we did was Kensei, right? Or Shigoki, one of the two. Either way.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Shigoki.
Okay, cool. So to kick it off is next up is Orochi.
Fatherless.
Oh,
All of you. I've been playing enough. I play Brawl literally daily, and the amount of you niggas that I see that are high rep, absolutely skillless, because y'all do two things and two things only. Hoes, a lot of you.
Okay. Is that just the bias talk? That is that. Yep, that's just the bias talking. Is the unbiased Gentle gonna say anything, or is it just all bias?
All fatherless.
Oh God.
All fatherless.
Oh God.
I've not met a respectable Orochi player yet.
Oh God. Damn.
Not one.
You shouldn't. Don't play it against Presto. That's his main.
Listen, I'll never judge Presto or Hawkers. I talk shit, but I'll never judge them for what they play. I know who they are.
Damn. He said that's enough. All right. Well, shit. He just says D tier. Personally, I think they're just one trick. Because once you know what they're going to do afterwards, it's just pretty easy. But their kit has been really improved. And so since I'm being nice and Gentle's being gentle,
if I wasn't biased, I'd also say one trick. Because
let's just
like, no matter how many times y'all lose, y'all are not the kind of people that are going to swap off Orochi.
No.
Like, I love revenge rematching. And I'll do it until the game says otherwise. But, you know, we can do that practically indefinitely in Brawl. And y'all niggas don't switch no matter what. Even after you're downloaded and getting shitted on, you're gonna play fucking Orochi.
I played against a one-trick Orochi, rep 27 today before stream started, dog. And when I tell you I lost the first, like, 3 fights, and then I went back and I found him, and I downloaded this nigga completely, he kept on, like, whenever he did manage to win a 1v1 that I messed up on, he would just spam. Mind you, I still do the typical, damn, good fight, and I just walk away. But nah, this man was like, oh, you know that little emote where they just keep on, they waft in the air in front of their face? Yeah. I'm like, all right, bro. Damn, that's crazy. Okay. And then the next game, I didn't die to him. And then he left after that. He left mid-game, actually.
The same thing in Brawl. There was a rep 9, who, by the way, said I was on par with skill with my rep 2 Nashua. That already tells you how you like to play. And after every time he killed someone, he would say, good fight, and then do that fucking emo. But one round, like, we still lost the match, but one of the rounds, I did kill him, and I said good fight, he didn't say that shit back. Every time he died, he would not say good fight back. So when we ran it back the second time, I did what he did to us, and he fucking left before the match was over.
Crazy, bruh. I'm not going to say Orochi's need to step their game up or anything, but, like...
Y'all are pretty low on the scum list. Like, I'm sorry. Y'all just, all of y'all are the same. Y'all love emoting people when you do your thing. And then when y'all get downloaded or someone just has a character that's twice as annoying as yours, y'all lose all self-respect. Y'all don't want to say good job. Y'all will fucking AFK. If you're in Dominion, all you'll do is gank after that. Like, y'all have no...
Oh, Av asked why Conqueror is so low. Because Conqueror is scum. Anyone that plays Conqueror is fatherless scum. Like, the character got a rework.
Conqueror is Orochi with an all block. Fuck you.
Yeah. Conqueror is scum because all they do is rely on the full block and do nothing but a heavy counter afterwards, which is, granted, is their kit, but, like, that's just boring scumbag play. And yes, there's ways to counter it, I know, but still, and the people who play Conqueror are also the same people who probably got really high Orochis.
Unstoppables have fucking hyper armor.
Yeah.
So you can't even be punished when you fucking do it. You just get to swing for free.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
And that character's just anti-black, but that's just me because I call him a slave master. But whatever, I guess. Anyway, but yeah, that's just my take on Conqueror. I don't fuck with this character personally, I am gonna learn. Well, I don't really need to say learn. I'm gonna play this character, get him like to a decent rep, and never pick him up again. But other than that, not my main.
Like, don't get me wrong, he got reworked, and it's not y'all fault that y'all have it, but like y'all choose to abuse it and nothing else. So it's really y'all fault.
You new here, but that's you swinging on Orochi players. I respect that. Up next.
Oh no, what bro say?
People that use Orochi's serve
Serve
zero
zero
purpose. Yep. Next up is Nobushi, and after I have done my research and I played Nobushi before, I immediately was going to put her in rework. But now I'm going to either put her at A or S tier, because if you get her going, giggity. If you get her going, dog, she can't be stopped. And don't let your opponent be near a fucking wall, bruh. Because the wall splat plus a poke plus then a kick and then 3 poke, then a kick. You already bleeding the person dry, dog. Like, I did the math, right? So if you do that combo, you do at least like what? 70-ish damage max without a heavy. And then if you throw a heavy on top, which is like a 25 to 22 hit, that's like 100. That's like 100 damage right there, dog. Free with that wall splash. So I'm personally gonna put her. I'm gonna put her in S tier because she got a fox.
Personally,
she got a fox mask. But that's
Nobushi was the first character I ever played way back when in For Honor when I was opening, because I thought they just looked cool. And they're not really my style, but as far as I'll probably use a lot of Brawl examples because I think Brawl is great, where I get to potentially fight.
Yeah, you get to analyze people. So no,
1v1, and yeah, and I really get to analyze and understand like how they fight, what this character is used to doing, how people typically open, that sort of thing. Nobushi feels like fucking Lawbringer and Shigoki. They have so many options. It's fucking terrifying. And the worst ones are the ones who can use that hoe ass stance well. I have never seen someone watch me do a move, not react, just to stance dodge it. That shit, I felt defeated, bro. Like, I was like,
you get
Jesus
one
Christ.
free dodge, and it's the wind-up animation for their attack, and you gotta use that bitch wisely. When I tell you, I was dodging a Guan Yu, aka Zhang Jing's attacks, and looking at him, and he was looking at me. He's like, "Wait a minute, that's my thing." It's like, no, it was my thing before you existed.
That shit was gross.
You hear the goddamn.
A patient Nobushi is terrifying because
you
they
hear the goddamn
punish
Ultra Instinct music playing.
And then they have that like slight Shaolin mechanic where the stabs can go any direction. Granted, most of them naturally do tops. But ones that switch between like top, left, right, it is so hard to not get that bleed stack. Like you have to be super fast.
What you know about that long poke, bro? What you know about that long poke? Where she literally just like does a little ballerina twirl poke and it extends the reach. And that does more bleed damage, by the way. That's her biggest bleed attack.
Yeah. Like that shit is tough.
Dog.
That shit is tough.
She's
once you're behind in the fight, it's like just super hard to catch up.
You gotta either pray she runs out of stamina or pray she fucks up the poke and you manage to deflect or parry. Because boy.
Yeah, as a Nashua, I have to get one good deflect or parry in. That is the only way I can fight Nobushi. If I cannot land deflect or parry, no amount of dodging or patience is gonna fucking matter. That reach is disgusting.
I still wish that her she has a side heavy attack that I wish you could get a free dodge in also, because like the way it's animated, it's like you do a large arcing swipe. Like think Kensei's like sidestep, right? But it's like a large arcing
There's a couple of
blade
attack.
I'm like that should just get free dodge.
Animation should be better than what it is.
Especially if the attack is going the opposite direction. Like I'm like, oh, weave, poke, you know what I'm saying? But that's just me. And Ubisoft, if you're listening to me, you know, I am part of the creator program, you know what I'm saying? But like
honestly, I feel like because of the nature of her weapon, she's the one person that when that happens, I'm not bothered because I half expect it. Like, yeah, your reach is like fucking far. I'd have to be like,
and that's in her kit too. It says long long distance, long something, giggity.
Like, I have to know better is what I feel when I get hit by that.
But I also feel like you don't see a lot of Nobushis because you just see newer characters. Like if you see someone that's playing Nobushi and they low rep, they're learning Nobushi, right? So I mean, you're not gonna be scared. But if you see a Nobushi and she dripped out, and you're like, "Hey, yo, that's a really nice looking Nobushi," and you see that they are high rep, you better cry.
The one that stood there with that stance was the first and probably only Nobushi I've seen with drip. They were like in the 70s, 80s with their gear score. Actually looked nice, and that was raw. So it was what it was.
I seen a rep 22 Nobushi once, and I was like, yeah, nah, bro. And then it was me playing Nobushi, and when I tell you, I managed to only win our fights barely because they probably fucked up, or I got extremely lucky. Because when I'm telling you, it was neck and neck and neck. You know what I'm saying? Like it was that close. But enough about my
That's just
love
an
for
uphill
Nobushi.
battle. 100%. And Brawl is an uphill battle. Every time I see Nabushi, I'm like, well, shit, time to
Well,
struggle.
I'm curious where you're gonna put this character, Gentle Centurion. Where are you gonna put him?
I have to put him in A. Satori just feels very gimmicky to me.
Really?
And that's only because, like, I see him fairly frequently, too. Like, it's not like he's a character I rarely ever see, but he's not like an Orochi. I don't see him every fucking game either. But when I see him, he kind of feels like a raider. Like, he doesn't necessarily need to be reworked. And I don't think they're scummy. They're super habitual when you fight a Centurion. Like, they're going to spam one or two things. And typically, it's the unstoppable punch, which I get is kind of the centerfold. But the way they do it is like light unstoppable, light unstoppable, light unstoppable, side light or side heavy unstoppable, kick unstoppable. Like, it's, I don't know.
I
I
would
don't
say
ever expect much from a Centurion when I see it because I know exactly what to do. And once I dodge one mid, you're getting shit on. Like, they don't rely on their lights, I feel like, as much as they should. I feel like they should play more like a Warlord does, but they don't. They're like hyper aggressive for no reason.
I feel like back in the day, before they got like touched, I think it was taken away from them or nerfed somehow. But they used to actually take stamina every time you got punched, and I mean any punch, Gentle.
Ooh, that's disgusting.
So like
That
you
sounds
would
like a pain for sure.
you would get hit by one fucking, let's say right straight by a Centurion, right, and it'd be like maybe 15 stamina gone. And then he would just like keep on going and going. All of a sudden, you're like, "Damn, I'm out of stamina," because you're trying to parry, and he's like throwing in like feints and shit. He's beating your ass. It was bad news bears, bro. It was like, dog, can I just go home? You know that overkill sound effect I got? Oh my god, he's already dead. And then it was always the ass, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
It was so toxic on Xbox that we always yelled at no matter what, bruh. It was bad. I heard it in my damn dreams. But I would agree. I would say he's solid. He's a solid character. He's very gimmicky, but like, you know, he's pretty fucking solid. I would damn near put him up here in S tier because he is kind of carried by that. Well, no, I would put him in S tier if he was like back to his old ways when it drained like a lot of stamina from getting hit by that punch. But
Yeah,
nah,
I can see that for sure.
I'm mad. This kind of looks like an F.
I think
I can't unsee it.
him and Raider with an update would be S tier fairly easily. But we'll have to see how Ubisoft feels about that.
Now, listen here, Gladiator. I love
Personally, unbiased, I think fair pick. Like he gives me Kensei vibes. I love fighting gladiators. Ones who mix up are fucking terrifying, and ones who don't are really easy to fucking kill. But I don't ever feel like he's just
one or the other.
busted.
I was going to agree with
I just
being
think
fair
ones who
pick
are
too.
really good counter attackers are like really, really hard to fight.
If you got a Glad that's dodging into your attacks with that baby shield and you hear the of that shit, you better cry because you know what's coming next, right? That impale. And then he's going to stab your toes, and he's going to side mink, and then he's going to impale again because, boy, I tell you what. And then if you got a really mean... Actually, I think Gladiator players are very sadistic, okay? They're just really sadistic, especially the ones that are really good. They just dodge into attacks, bruh. I get scared, bruh. And they don't finish you out right. They just watch you bleed out. You know who you are out there in the For Honor community.
And honestly, I feel like they're some of the most honorable opponents I ever fought. I remember just like 2 days ago, I fought like a rep 8 or so, a gladiator. And I'm talking this motherfucker only did ones. He emoted every time he locked onto somebody and pointed to make sure he knew exactly who the fuck he wanted smoke with. He would fight every time he won or lost. Like, it was one of the realest niggas I've ever seen. And he was good. Like, I remember a Black Prior who had killed someone with full HP. This man had just beat somebody, but he didn't get to execute. So he's like 20% HP and killed this Prior from full HP without taking damage. The dude was fucking terrifying. He was sick with it because he would do that whole ass dodge bash perfectly every time in sync. It was insane to watch.
Jesus Christ, this man got red and bashed to death.
Literally, it was so disgusting. I had to say good fight, and it wasn't even my fight. I just watched it happen.
I would have ran. But then again, you say use a respecting one, so I'm like, nah, I gotta go fight.
Yeah,
that
so
man.
when he
Like,
pulled out, I was like, damn, that was my turn to get my ass beat.
wait, you remember American Dad? They when Stan Smith had that bully, Stolios, oh, please, Stolios Santos.
Literally, like that man had theme music, bro. That nigga was sick with it. He was sick with it for real. And to only be like a rep 8, I'm like, that dude's going places. Like he really knows that character. He definitely is probably like the I stat and hero tactics and practice combos and situations type. Like dude was downloading motherfuckers. It was dope. It was really dope.
All right, I'm just gonna let the
love fighting
bias
that
consume
nigga.
me on this next one, bro.
Who's
Fatherless
next?
Scum, Highlander. Fatherless Scum.
Yep.
Fatherless Scum.
Fuck 'em.
Disgusting. Stupidly fast lights. Damn hyper armor. Motherfucking fast as fuck movement. And they hit like a brick shit house going down the street at 60 miles per hour, bro. I'm just done with this character. I want this motherfucker to be
I
slowed
saw
to
that
oblivion.
motherfucker yesterday, just
My
last night.
God,
I had a
hate this character.
teammate who was playing some knight character and got his shit walked in a match. So we rematched because I was learning, of course. So I love rematching. And that motherfucker pulled out Highlander and dicked him, and I was like, I want to be impressed, but you swapped the Highlander, so I don't know.
Free
how to
hot.
feel.
Done my glass, free hot. Then he just
Literally.
dribbled, bro. I hate this character. There's
Like,
nothing else I can say about this damn
I couldn't
character.
stand watch. I felt so bad for him. I was like, I mean, I'll take the dub, but I can't stand watching this happen to y'all. Cause fuck this character.
And then, bruh, what's stupid in their kit, Gentle? They get an attack boost for free.
Oh yeah, I
Like,
forget about that.
like what?
Honestly, that is something that probably isn't talked about enough, or at least because I'm not super into the For Honor community, so it's not something I see in any of my algorithms for things, except like YouTube right now, because that's where I look for stuff currently. But I don't see feats talked about a lot. And I tell you what, some characters or feats are beyond fucking good, and some could definitely use some changes.
Or they can just go
So
to
that
different
does
characters
contribute
because, like,
100%.
I don't see the
Like when I
point.
think about like something like Shigoki, that nigga's feats are perfect.
Mm.
Like they're insane. But then I see like PK or Shaman, I'm just like, eh.
Yeah,
You know,
PK's
like-
feats don't make no sense. She has a feat
They
that
just-
gives her more armor when she does something. I can't remember what exactly.
Yeah, like they that's definitely something that needs to be considered when it comes to updating characters. The feat list for sure. Some characters are just ass. They definitely need to be updated for 100%.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit. Gentle's gonna be biased as fuck for the next one. Go on, Gentle. Place it where you want to. It's Shaman.
One tricks.
One
Everyone-
tricks.
Every Shaman I see is like rep 15, rep 20. Like I don't see low rank. Well, I guess in Brawl everybody's low rank for me, right? Of course. But when I go to Dominion and I'm playing with homies, never see a low rank Shaman. Like motherfuckers just like if you are a Shaman player, that's it. You just play Shaman.
Looks at
As
Gentle.
painful as it is. But she also needs a fucking rework, 100%. That character is old as time and lacks a lot of tools that would make her character like she's right with PK, right? Like they have a mechanic, they're centered around bleeds, but the way that they work their heavies and how they're able to dodge attack does not synergize with applying the bleed or the pressure for the bite for Shaman whatsoever. Like it's just bad, and neither of their feats are great either. Like 100%, both of them need to be reworked. But I do see a lot of Shaman one tricks, 100%.
I
I
would
think
say-
you can make her okay if you just don't put her down.
I personally believe that putting her in one trick over rework is fine because unlike PK's kit, her kit is still good to fight against all these people with like hyper armor and shit. She's still agile and fast. But then you know what's even crazy, Gentle? No one uses that main component of Shaman when you bleed somebody and they do the little dash afterwards and they miss. They just stop. I saw that person. I saw today. I actually saw someone do the dash twice.
Nice.
And I was like blown the fuck away because the knight dude
Yeah.
wasn't expecting it at all because he was gonna do a heavy, but
No
then all of a
one
sudden
does.
he's "Arr!" and,
No one does.
and I'm like, dog,
No one expects that shit. And the tracking is great. So even if
Mhm.
you dodge, bitch, you're getting bit.
Yep.
Like
Like,
Unless you do a whole roll or a fair dodge like forward, upward is because you know it's coming. If you hesitate, you're getting bit.
here's the thing.
And it's faster than all overhead strikes. So if you are Valkyrie, if you are Centurion, and you think you're just gonna fly at her, she will snatch you out of the fucking air.
I'm gonna give you the fucking play-by-play for that fight too, because the dude had her on the ropes. You know, I was of course was respecting the ones and watching. It was like a rep. I want to say a rep 9 a night versus a rep. It was a new one too, so she just got out of Hero Tactics, my nigga. So she knew about that leap. Her score wasn't that high, but the play of the fight went like this. She got 2 bleeds off, and then she was in the what is it called, predatory stance.
Yep.
She was in that. The knight saw it coming and he dodged, and he was charging up his Mizuru, and he was doing the long variant. And she, after she hit the ground, she literally did that little dog thing when they do a hard turn and jumped on this nigga. And I could see the confusion in his face. He was like, "Wait, Mizuru! Oh!"
Yeah, that 90 it is a 90-degree turn, y'all. I shit y'all not. When Shaman does, because as long as you have stamina, you can continue that leap. And it is a 90-degree turn. So if there's any point where they do not dodge, you're getting pounced on like instantly. That shit goes far as hell. That's the other thing about Shaman, why I also put in rework. She and PK both need their moveset lists updated. If you go into Hero Tactic, there are commands that you can input that are not in that fucking list, and that makes 0 sense. And that is the perfect example Humble just gave. You can continue to do your predatory stance as long as you have stamina. They do not tell you that anywhere. They also tell you that you need to hold the input, which if you're using an Xbox controller is X, when all you have to do is tap it, which saves you so much time. So rather than pressing and holding, you can literally backwards dash with A and tap X immediately after and you'll leap. Huge difference. Like that sort of shit just, I can't believe that that's allowed to be put on like a test server, be played, and then make it to live service, because that's insane. That's literal insanity. Like you're teaching people how to play the character wrong. Like how is the tutorial fucked up for the character? That just don't make no sense. How you fuck up the tutorial for it? That's crazy. That is embarrassing. So yeah, her and PK both like need an update, need their movesets like lengthened with greater detail because they're so inaccurate.
For Shaman, it's more of a quality of life change, and maybe one mix-up wouldn't hurt. Well, like one new mix-up wouldn't kill her. Like, you know, it might probably enhance her play, but like that's a huge thing. Like I can't believe it's been possibly 7 years for this game, and like that is not in there. You know what I'm saying?
And I think they could share some of each other's mechanics, what makes them go more smoothly. Like I think if Shaman had like a grab stab, but rather than the triple stab, like a stacking bleed like PK, she would just hit you once, like she would in any of her other quick bleeds. That would be something that would enhance her kit. And then for what's it called, PK, I think she should have dash cancel options too, because with Shaman you can predatory stance cancel, you can dash heavy cancel into like multiple times. Like you can cancel those into each other as much as you want, as long as you have stamina to do so. PK needs some sort of mix-up option like that with a gap closer, because that is what she lacks. And for someone to be super light heavy, not being able to gap close is ass. You fighting a Shaolin, you're fighting an Ibushi, you're fighting fucking Gladiator, you're getting shit on because you can't get in.
Yeah, and they want you to rely heavily on her riposte, but we're not going to talk about how like dashing into attacks is difficult already in this damn game because the window is so small.
Punished, Valk's gonna shit on you. Superior Lights are gonna shit on you. The Bash from Triton is gonna shit. Like there's too many characters with something that's gonna fuck you up if you try that. And if you do it with heavies, if you miss time, half your HP is gone.
Also, I think that her having that stupid, once again, I'm gonna go back and say this, like her having that fucking long sword instead of just 2 daggers really hinders her fucking heavy attacks because they're so slow. I feel like that's the slowest heavy attack on an assassin character yet. Like it's just bad. Either you can't even get past wind up, or they know you're if they do a heavy attack, they're just waiting to punish you with a parry, and then once you're thrown off kilter as a PK, you're also fucked. But this character is not meant to be played by itself in the ones. I've heard in the past that PK in the duel scene is fucking scary, and by all means, like it's not bad to say that this character can just be like S tier in duels, but in 4s or in Breach, which is another game mode for those in the community that know, I just feel like people just play this character solely to gank. They have the invisible perk and they just gank people, and that's it. And personally, I like pulling up on folks, even if I'm playing a squishy character. You know what I'm saying? I would like to have my chance to fight somebody and not have to rely on just solely ganking them. I can understand if I'm coming out the shadows with the invisibility perk and like requesting a 1 with somebody, but me just having to have a teammate there, hoping that my teammate can draw aggro enough that I can just guard bake and do this prison shank maneuver and get off a bleed. That's not fun. That's not a fun character, dog.
Same with Shaman. Shaman needs to be able to apply it a lot easier. All of hers are reliant on mostly heavy cancels. She needs more options than that. She needs to be able to apply it by herself. Now, when these two are on a team together,
oh god,
bitch, good luck. But like when it comes to functioning on their own,
a Glad in there too, bruh.
Like it's yeah. They both like ganking's cool, but they should have the options to potentially 2v1 if they're good enough. And I think one thing they can do for PK, especially because she has one of the weakest bleeds, or not even one of the weakest bleed, I'm pretty sure, is allow her to do like, I don't even know how to say it. Like, because her bleed is the lowest, allow her to extend the duration with like certain movements, if that makes any sense at all. Like to be able to apply like an extension. Like if the bleed is 4 seconds, she hits you with some sort of mix, similar to like a trap from Nashua, like some special bleed expander.
Or just fix her bleed output to be like everybody else instead of all this 2 points of damage
or
bullshit.
Even just update it.
Just saying.
Because it doesn't stack when you do the triple, I'm pretty sure. It simply just resets the timer along with the damage from the stab itself. So there's no point. Why is it so low? Give her a little oomph. Yeah, definitely rework for Shaman, but a lot of 1 tricks out there.
I would say the next up, if you see this person that really knows how to play this character, you're fucked. I personally think that the current Shinobi is kind of a fair pick because either you're really good or you're really bad. And I don't see a lot of like overpowering Shinobis out there. So like I would say they're either fair pick or 1 tricks for me personally, but I'm gonna be nice to put them in fair pick.
I would probably put Shinobi in 1 tricks because I don't really see dabblers either. They're kind of like Shaman, right? Like when there's a Shinobi, they just like play fucking Shinobi.
That's a
fair
point.
They are fine to fight 100%. Like when they suck, they're going to rely on a lot of centered unstoppables and
that stupid
probably
kick.
Get shit on. But when ones have movement, especially ones who know how to parry punish, they're terrifying because they can fucking loop the shit out of you.
I feel like
it's quite annoying.
I see a lot of people. Yeah, I'm gonna change mine and put them in 1 trick because once again, it's all about the majority and not the minority of these players. Because, you know, obvious reasons. When I see people who are just playing Shinobi, they just spam the kicks. They're not really worried about going into Sickle Rain, which is like their bread and butter. And if they manage to pull off a Sickle Rain, it's just like, okay, afterwards, what am I going to do? I'm gonna just run away. But I don't see a lot of people flip. And as I was playing I literally took my Shinobi from 3 to 7. I think the week before last. And what I realized that when I was fighting other people who were Shinobis, even like higher ranking ones, I don't see them flip enough. And I'm like, dog, that's
the invis, like that weird like invis shadow dash. I don't see a lot of that either.
Okay, well, first I'm talking about the flipping, and then I'm gonna go right into that because what I realized is that nobody does the invis properly. It's always into the kick, but with the flipping mechanic, it gives you so much time to plan things out. And they have to come to you. So therefore, if for example, if I'm fighting a Centaurian, right, and you know they're always opening up with that fucking downward jumping slash shit, right? You can technically, if you're saucy enough, like I am, you know what I'm saying, you can dash into that, get a reflect off, get the anime style finish hit, and then you can go into Sickle Rain. You know what I'm saying? And that is the bread and butter. You know what I'm saying? But for the invis, what people normally do, they just spam the kick. They don't use the invis as like a feint, because what I realized later is that, okay, they're expecting the kick because, you know, oh, Shinobi, that's all they're going to do. Dash kick. Yep. So what I did now in my later games is that I would just spam the invis, watch them try to like do a light or a heavy move, parry, kick him off, go into a light attack, backflip, go into sickle rain, and it's over. Like I've hit you with the meanest mix ever. Like, damn, you didn't kick me, nah, bruh. I'm in that ass. You feel me?
Definitely. I think he's like one update from being carried by Kit. Like I think if he had more directional options with some of his movements,
he would.
They
nerfed him in the current Shinobi. We had the past Shinobi got a rework. The very
like you mentioned the sickle grab, which I thought was something that just makes sense for his character. So him not having something like that is insane to me.
Yeah, like I can show you the video, but
it's just aesthetically awkward as shit. Like he doesn't actually do anything with it. They should just be little hand axes at that point. Like what?
They're little commas now. So, but before that, as I told you before, the sickle grab was not good in 1v1 scenarios. It wasn't, because you didn't have to parry it. You can just reflect in a direction, and guess what? You fucked up. And when you fucked up, Jindal, the punishment for Shinobi was that you would fall on your ass.
Was it not unstoppable?
No.
See, it should have been.
Only time it was unstoppable.
I don't mind like grabs on being unstoppable, especially like Shigoki. Like I get that being unstoppable because you have so much time to move. So if it's well timed, you should just get your ass beat. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, but here's the thing: it was unstoppable, but it was an unstoppable parry. And like the Shigoki back then.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. So when they would, the animation was this: like if you threw the sickle at them, they could just knock it away, or when they knocked it away, they pulled you forward or pushed you back or somehow. But you ended up on your ass, and you were on your ass for a minute.
I could not imagine in current meta being fallen. Like there's too many Valkyries, too many Centaurians. Like you're getting
right, and it was because of your own kit, nonetheless. And that was like what the fuck, dude. So then they took that out, and they made you have more mix-ups, and to incorporate into that, the little get on your knees, chopping your neck thing, and then back off. But
because for Oxalotl to have it get over here, but fucking Shinobi not is criminal as fuck. Like,
but Oxalotl's get over here is a feat though. It's not something you can just.
Even then, I can understand it being a feat. Yeah. Why does he not have it? That's insane.
That's a smart ploy, because that would be great, especially for his new updated rework. But
like I think Shigoki's top tier, but also that unstoppable ass, uninterruptible feat. Like that shit is gross. I don't want to fight him when he has that shit. I'm running. Like, give them aesthetic options that go with their kits for feats and not necessarily just random shit you think works for their class specifically. So I feel like a lot of them are class centered, but not character centered. And that's stupid.
But that's my bread and butter. Like if I was just being nice and say the minorities were getting the wow, that sounds bad out of context. But if I was being nice and say that the minorities of the fucking Shinobi players out there, I would feel like that character itself as B tier is just a fair pick. Just fair pick. But since it's just a majority of things, I would say it's one trick, because like there's not a lot of good Shinobi players out there, especially if you're trying to learn the character. It's hard as fuck. You can't 1v1, you can't 1v4. You can't, you're just shit out of luck, dog.
Now, if you take the time to, you're gonna be a fucking menace.
That part. But that's
like I put him in the list with like PK. Like if I see you just running at me on the side, get away from me. What are you doing?
But the next character is Aramusha.
Fatherless, motherless, grandfatherless.
Oh no!
Fuck him.
Oh no, Jitsu, I was gonna say they were one tricks.
I can't stand y'all.
Oh,
I cannot stand y'all. I cannot stand y'all at all. Truly cannot stand y'all.
Wow.
Bottom feeder. I cannot stand y'all.
Oh, someone do bottom feeder for Gentle, please, because like the way that. Yikes.
I
bottom feeder.
Thanks, Shannon.
Y'all are like Orochi, but your kid's better. Like y'all just do the most harebrained bullshit.
Oh,
and
I'm
he's a superior light wielder, right?
No.
Or is he the one with the full guard?
He has the Blackbriar counter mechanic.
Yeah,
maidenless.
I was like,
Rose, we have a maidenless command. We have a maidenless command. Go ahead and hit that exclamation point maidenless. Go on.
Yeah, that shit. with the speed of that dodge with your side dash lights is just absolute cancer. I
It's
cannot
just,
stand
it's just
y'all.
I ain't got nothing to say. I was gonna be real like critical and just say the Aramushas, their kit is okay,
Like,
but their bread and butter is just the light spam, and it's just like once you stop them in their tracks and get a guard break in there or just a really nice bash, they're fodder. And then if they're really good with Aramusha,
Are you alone? No maidens?
essentially they're maidenless. like like you like I ain't got
you're
nothing to say.
very hard to punish with that speed and dash. Like it is,
You're very
it's
hard to
very
punish, but
annoying.
once you get punished, you stay punished. There is
Yeah,
no recovering from that for
that's why I call
Aramushas.
y'all fatherless because when you're bad, like you're basically a fucking minion. Like I'm not gonna lie to you.
Damn.
But when you understand the kit, only a character with a kit as widely ranged as y'all's will be able to contend.
We haven't gotten to Griffin yet. Griffin right here.
And a lot of this I will preface by saying, for those who don't know, my mains are Shaman and Nashua, and also like PK. So I play a lot of characters who are rather old for the most part and don't have like your hyper armors, your unstoppables, your superior lights, like access to a lot of the mechanics that they're giving out more and more. So when I see these things spammed on these low level accounts when I'm learning Brawl, I understand very quickly how fucking potent that shit is when you don't have it. It's insane.
Mm-hmm. And wait till he starts using characters with hyper armor and shit. It's gonna be a problem for all of y'all, but not me. Um, but enough about Aramusha. The next person up is Tiandi. Um,
Well, you're biased, so I'm gonna let you go first.
I'm not really that biased. The one you're thinking of is Panda. This is his main, and he would
Oh,
say
right.
he's S tier. But me personally, he recently got more mix-up potential. So I would say I feel like he's a fair pick. Like I don't really have
Yeah,
anything bad to say about
I
this
will throw him in
character.
fair pick. I
He-
love fighting Panda when he's Tiandi. Like I know he's just good with him, so it's super hard, but it doesn't feel cheesy. He's just very patient, and he's the one with that fucking kick.
yeah,
That shit hurts. Like it's
Mhm.
hard to land, but bitch, when it does, oh my god, the shit that they can throw, like you cannot. I am hyper aware of my environment when there's a fucking Tiandi on the enemy team. I have to be because if I make a mistake and get booted, you can get. I'm talking kicked off literally anything, and you
Mhm.
don't have to be close to it. It's
right.
terrifying.
It's
And even if you don't, you're gonna hit a wall. They have that dashing overhead fucking heavy. Like
I think
the
at one
characters-
point, if you
oh.
kick someone into the wall, they got bashed like a stun effect. And I don't know if that's still there. I hope it is because that's fucking hilarious.
I don't know. I stay the fuck away from all walls and ledges when Tiani's around. Like I don't want to find out. I want nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. But he doesn't feel gimmicky. He just feels. I feel like every time I fight at Tiandi, they're very neutral. Not like they're not going to just guard, just parry. They're not going to attack every 5 seconds. They are the type that's just trying to download everyone they 1v1, and it's so annoying, but it makes it so fun to fight them.
Yeah,
Love fighting Tiandi.
I enjoy fighting Tiandis. Let's see. My mains is Griffin Zen, who in Walmart use your next words carefully.
Griffin,
You don't know who the you don't
I'm
know who the
trash.
fuck I is. I don't give a damn.
oh shit.
Oh man. All right, so next up is motherfucking Zhang Zhang, aka the Do-Rag General, aka Guan motherfucking you. And I am not going to hold you. I'm being biased, and this motherfucker's S tier because this kid is just drippy. It's fucking good. He has mix-ups. He has evades. He has cancels. He has unstoppables. He has he has bashes. He has it all. And like fighting a really, really good fucking Guan Yu or Zhang Zhang it's just it's annoyingly fun. Me personally, it's annoyingly fun. But when you just getting
agree.
steamrolled by this man, it's
I love fighting good opponents. I play pretty mid-tier characters, trash tier characters, and I love fighting people who are good with good characters because it accelerates the way at which I learn. And he's definitely on that list. He has so much, especially for me. Like I'm the kind of person that will go down the moveset list just to kind of eyeball to get a ballpark of what to expect. And he's with Lawbringer and fucking Shigoki. Like there's too much to expect. I just have to get used to the person I'm fighting. It doesn't matter.
right. Like I ain't got nothing else to add on homeboy. He just saucy. Just saucy. Up next is your girl Nashua, and I'm gonna let you take over because I ain't got really much to say on this character. Because I'm not saying well, she kind of is bad, kind of sort of, but you know, she's not as bad now that I understand her kit. You know what I'm saying?
I want to put her with A for gimmicks because I think she sits with the Raider and Centurion, where she has a lot of good things going for her, but she definitely needs some very slight changes to give her more options because she can be really good. But again, she's another character that has a conditional unstoppable, lacks hyper armor. Her lights are not superior, so she can be beat out in a lot of places that she normally excels. So it's like great. Her dashes can cancel a lot, especially your reflect or your deflect into lights. But people like Valk, people with superior lights can beat you out. Your dash is not quick or far, so people with really, really quick center bashes will catch you a lot of the time. And her side is a light and it doesn't go far, so people with say like what's her name? Apollyon with that side unstoppable heavy, like you're gonna get dicked on. So I think she's super deflect reliant, and if you can manage to learn how to do that, you're gonna be a fucking menace, which is all I do, which is why I think I can beat a lot of characters because I'm literally not holding the block or the fucking parry. Like I am just sitting with my thumbstick and my finger on A to try and get habits out of people to learn how to deflect them. So that's why I think she's very gimmicky. Like if you can do what she does, you're really, really good. But when you make a mistake, fuck, it's hard to recover.
Okay. I respect it. I yield because once again, I don't play this character. I just know how to fight against her, you know. So next up is Shaolin. And before I'm gonna be real. Like the thing is, I love this character so much when I played on console. I was damn near rep 70 with him. But like what I couldn't stand the most with this kit before he got his more mix up heavy rewarding kit is that the damn flourishes in this person's like moveset annoys the fuck out of me. Like I get it, it's a bow stab, you want to twirl it around and all that bullshit, but nah, this is a fighting game. Like I really want them to remove some animations and just give me my motherfucking attacks, because the way I would do more damage if I didn't have to incorporate the animation time for the twirling of the damn bow staff behind his back or over his head, you know what I'm saying? It's just cut that shit down. But other than that, I feel like this character is very, very gimmicky. Because once you understand what they're finna do, like good God, they're easy to punish. But if you don't know what they're doing with mix-ups, it's really hard to counter. So personally, I'm gonna put him in gimmicks.
He bounces between S and A for me because of the whole animation thing. I think he excels in like ones, especially like duels when there's no minions and he has room. Like if he can play the environment, he has space to move. He's great. He's very, very mix-up intensive. He has some good counters, a nice unstoppable mix as well. He has the stance, which allows him to dodge. But when you're getting tagged by minions, when there's another person around, you don't have
if you're
the
hindered in
time
any
to
way,
move, the way you need to fight, and you're kind of just kept to your light combo, which you'll eventually whittle someone down, but his big damage comes from those fucking animations. So when you don't have the time to do so, he feels really lackluster. I don't know. I feel like Dominion, he's super hard to play, but like ones and twos, he's pretty fucking hard to fight. I love fighting him.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure whether to put him. He kind of bounces for me.
What is this tier list? It's just us talking about the characters. You can see is listed from carried by kit, gimmicks, fair picks, and one tricks. And Father the Scum is our favorite category. So I'm sorry, but not sorry really if your main is there. But we're just shooting this shit.
Like if I were talking about Brawl specifically, because I see him there, I'd probably give him S. I think his kit is super fucking cool. I think he does a lot of really neat shit. He has a lot of fucking badass combos he can do. But like if you're a Dominion player and you want to main Shaolin, hearts out to you, man. Good fucking luck.
Well, here's the thing with Dominion playing Dominion,
especially when there's fucking walls. You're
I'm about to say that's
bouncing that fucking swing off the walls so often. That shit's wide as hell. It is fucking wide.
I feel like the only time when I play my Shaolin is that I get fucked up a lot is when I'm in that narrow corridor area on that forge map, and I'm just like, bruh, I have to just leap forward and just do all my my key staff related up attacks, because the way if I swing left or right in this narrow bitch, it's gonna be over. Like
Yep.
if the maps don't play in my favor, bro, I'm in trouble. Garrett, he has that nice bash, that little forward kick. He can incorporate it after every like initial key stance move. But still, like it's really hard, because if
Hear
you
me
hear
out.
that dreadful clink against that wall,
What if they do so like Nashua, right? We have enhanced on one of our attacks, like our forward light when we're running, where if it's blocked and not parried, it does not bounce, like it doesn't deflect off, so you can continue into a move right after, which a lot of people don't know, so you catch a lot of people off guard. I think he should have that with the staff moves, and it should include the environment. For him to have to swing so wide and really only excel when there are no walls, and you can't control every map you're on, especially if you play duels or brawl, there are some narrow ass areas you're gonna have to fucking fight in. So I
So-
think he should have that where the opening one is not affected when he hits something.
So
Maybe a follow up, but that first one he should get for free. Honestly.
so you're saying within key stance, he should be able to cancel from one direction to another for free.
Yes. Like he needs some sort of option there to make up for that.
I'm not
because
gonna hold
once
you. That's
pick,
scary to
you're
think
just
about.
fucking stuck.
That's scary to think about, dog. I don't know if I want that to come true, but that's
I feel that, but that would strengthen him, I think, enough for the good players. Where anybody who's bad, it won't really do anything for you. But you good players, I think, deserve something like that. As scary as it might be for everybody else,
God,
I
that's
think that would make
frightening.
him fucking solid.
if you can cancel
Truly.
out of like if you can cancel from going from light top to motherfucking light side for free. Oh god damn. Yeah, I can be on this Tuesday, Av, if you want me to. Next up is Blackprior, and I'm biased, but my bias is not gonna win this one. Personally, I put this character in follow the scum category, but dog, and I feel like he's a fair pick, because if a person fucks up on their not this man saying light top, heavy side strokes. Oh god.
No.
Oh no, Chris,
no.
not on the tube. I feel like if you mess up in any type of motherfucking fight with Blackprior, you are punished for just fucking up. Okay, so I don't feel like I feel like their kit is pretty solid. I really do feel like there's nothing I would change in it, except the player base for it is just basura. But I'm just saying, like all Blackprior players are either one of two people, really fucking honorable and like lived up to the knightly code, or they're scumbags, or they're just scumbags. You feel me? But like yeah, that's my personal placement for this character. What do you think, General?
I would throw them in fair pick because of the characters that I play against them. I feel like they're pretty strong with a lot of good options. Some are annoying, but not necessarily overpowered. I feel like a lot of Blackpriors default to their guard stance a lot. So any character who has especially heavy cancels into grabs typically shit on them. So while they're irritating, there's a lot of characters that have more than necessary compensation to take out someone of average skill who play that character. But like he said, a really good one, especially a scummy ganker, is disgusting. But no, I'm not really bothered by Blackpriors as much. I think y'all have a lot of decent options, but not like the same tier as Shigoki or Lawbringer. Y'all are just pretty good.
Up next is Jormungandr, and personally, I can't decide between A or S, because their kit now is fucking nice. It hurts, but it's just nice. You know what I'm saying? Like they have a lot of punish now. I would think my only complaint with this character in its current form is that when they get access to their second bash, it puts you on your ass, and they get too much damage from that. It's almost like, you know how Valkyrie does the leg sweep, and then at the end of the leg sweep, she has a chance to impale on the ground. It's almost like that, but it's just I feel like it cuts corners. But at the same time, before, what they had was just a gut punch, and that was pretty much it. So like it's a massive improvement to their new kit, and from their rework. I'm sorry, it's a massive improvement from their previous kit. But damn, is it fucking annoying, dog. So like, I would say personally they're up here for me. They're at least in between these two ranks, because Yorm is dangerous, bro, because they also fuck with your stamina.
Um,
I'm gonna leave it up to you to put where you wanted this character gentle, because I'm stuck. I'm truly am stuck.
it does bounce between both because she is super gimmicky, but that's I feel like the heart of a disabler. That's kind of the intention, right? Like
Yeah.
if you were a disabler class, that's kind of what you're all about. But I do feel like Yorman is carried by their kit. You
Oh.
do get a lot of room to punish. I think if Yorman wasn't a heavy, they would just be gimmicky. But because you have so much damage coming behind that fucking disable, it is really, really hard to deal with it when you're fucking hit. Especially in forest. If you are knocked from behind, that is easily half your fucking HP if you're not another heavy character. Like you're getting shit on. And when it comes to walls, she has a very small weapon with that hammer, so she's very rarely cucked by an environment. She can practically swing as freely as she fucking wants, which is really dangerous. It's like the opposite of Shout.
Only time you get really cucked by this weapon is when you yourself are really up against the wall and you swinging right, and the wall is just right there.
100%.
Clink. Oh, damn. Make my. You know what I'm saying?
No environment hinders you whatsoever. You can kind of W key, however, from what fucking angle for anybody you want to. So that's why she's dangerous. I definitely think it's carried by Kit, specifically because of the manner of the Sable being a heavy and having such a small weapon to wield. If it was a bigger hammer, probably not as easy. But given that it's like short-handled, yeah, you can punish like fucking everything.
Okay, up next is Hitokiri, and I ain't gonna hold you. As a former Hitokiri main, I think she's very gimmicky because you rely mostly on your armor for this character, and also the leg sweeps, because people can dodge the kick, right? But what they don't, because even for me, like getting back into the swing of things, when I see someone playing Hitokiri and they just do a kick, I'm like, all right, bet. So they're gonna keep on doing the light kick and not the hold down kick. So I get hit by the light kick, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be trained to look for this animation. But all of a sudden, in our next engagement or the same fight, they could do the low kick, and I already wasted my dash, and so therefore I'm punished for wasting it. And when I'm on my ass, you know what comes next? That big ass axe. You know what I'm saying? So like, they're solid.
I'd have to
right
give
now.
them S tier just because of the presence of the hyper armor. If they did not have that, I think solid gimmick, because you are centered a lot around your lights into hyper armor and then your unstoppables. But I think a patient Hito who does a lot of unstoppable heavy cancels will beat your ass with those lights whenever you try and parry or dodge.
You're right.
So if they didn't have that hyper armor to follow it up,
Fuck.
I would put it in gimmick because you just have to be good, right? But because the hyper armor can follow, they can kind of just throw shit. And if they get hit, they get hit. But they're gonna trade, and you don't want to trade with a Hito. You just don't. If you're trading, you're losing.
Yeah, trading with a Hito is just a bad idea. Even if you have a character, for example, that is Highlander who can, trade with them, but still, it becomes a battle of like endurance and like, all right, who's gonna fuck up first? Like, we both have hyper armor, but we know who hits harder. You know what I'm saying? Who gets parried and then last moves? You know what I'm saying, when the feint's gonna get throw. So like, I would change my vote from gimmick to carried by Kid also.
Like if it was not having a sweep or not having hyper armor, but the presence of both is just a disgusting combination. Like that's, dear God.
I also feel like, unlike Highlander, who is a piece of filth, they are more easier to deal with because they're not fast. Their speed overall puts them.
Ito's light speed is so gross.
It is
so gross.
But that's it. Her heavies aren't that fast. But you know whose heavies whose heavy lights are fucking fast? But I guess it's because, Highlander is a fucking hybrid. Duh, they're supposed to be faster than Hito, who's a heavy. No, put that motherfucker in heavy. You know what he is.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Highlander can like 3-tap an assassin. He should be a heavy. It's not a hybrid.
But anywho, up next is Zan He. Now, I feel like you wouldn't have a lot of experience with this character because they're barely used. And for one reason. They're one tricks.
Yeah, I was like, they seem one tricky to me.
They're definitely one tricks.
I've only seen like 2, like in all of, and just with the kit style, because I've also watched Panda play it a couple times. It doesn't seem insane in the slightest. I just feel like
it's very predictable. And what sucks about this character, because recently they had a new move incorporated in their kit. It's a bash, right? And I don't see a lot of people using the bash enough, because before, the bash was guaranteed after a certain input before the rework. Now the bash is for free, right? But people are still just doing the stupid maneuver. Oh, I'm going to attack. Like you fought against this person with me. All he did was spam attacked heavy left and right, and got mad and kept on saying, "Wow, wow,
Oh yeah,
wow."
she does that really weird inside hop and swipes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
that
so,
is what I see a lot of. Yeah.
And so,
100%.
like, what's stupid about that is that this person was, Ayo Rose. I shit you not. This person was like rep 10 with this character, at least in our low ranking games. But he would just spam left and right, left and right, left and right. There was no mix up. There was no top attack. Giggity. There was
not a single empty dodge. Like every time you pushed the button,
all he did was left and right
every time.
And I know that's not every fucking Zanhu player, but like what I do typically see with this character is that, okay, I'm going to attack top. I'm gonna follow that through and get the unblockable. Oh, my unblockable got parried. Shit, I'm going to zone attack, which comes from the left and only the left. Oh shit, I got parried. Okay, well, what I'm gonna do is I'm a side hop, but oh shit, I got parried. Fuck, I'm dead. You know what I'm saying? Okay, that's funny. That gift was funny. It was right over my face. That's fucking hilarious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I definitely think Zenha could use some updating. It's not like they're behind per se the curve of the meta, but they're just not. They need something. I just don't know what it is. I don't have enough experience with the character to know what that is, but they need something.
If I wanted to be nice, I would say they were a fair pick because once again they're easily punished, but it's the fact that all the people I've seen just do the same gimmicky one trick to get their most damage off. It sucks. Like, I really want this character to be good because, one, I like the Wulin faction, and two, they don't have a lot of really solid characters other than just fucking Zhang Zhang, and it's just in its ass. But at the end of the day, I really think that Zanhe needs something else, and we're not even just talking about just like her feats, because her feats I feel like would make up the most damage of it, because her 2, 3, and 4, 2 through 4, they combo into each other pretty nice for a nice whopping amount of damage, and it also applies tick.
Yeah,
but
there's a couple Zanhas that when it's a close fight and I happen to dodge backwards and I don't know their feats are up, I'm getting fucking shitted on.
But I really want this character to be good. Truly, I want to put him in fair pick, but it from the masses is just this character is boring. But when I played the character, I picked up the character for the first time like maybe like 3 weeks ago, and when I tell you I was dog walking people because I was throwing in mix-ups they never seen before, it made me want to be like, damn, this character is godly. Why is no one playing them properly, you know? It's like you know how people in the fighting game community will also do tier lists and they would say this one character who's really, really bad. But if you took time and learned the movesets and figure out how to combo things, they were like,
we call those sleepers. Yeah.
Yeah, like wait, who was this? There's someone recently in the FGC community, I already said community, wow. There's someone recently in the FGC did something crazy with a low tier character and they won the goddamn championship with them. And it was
Same
like
thing happened in Smash. There was something on the West Coast where like a random ass like Kirby player or some shit came in and shit with everybody.
Like if you know this character and you know them in and out, I would say shit. I'll put them in fucking fair pick. Hell, I'll put them in carried by a kid. But I'm just not seeing it.
You know what could be? I think they could also benefit from that enhanced type of movement. But for example, that dodge inside light, where if it's not parried, they get like a secondary attack. Or if they could be like, what is it? Is it Warden? When they land a light, if you do it on the same side, you get that secondary quick light right after.
Oh,
something like that. They need a nudge of some sort with their light.
She have that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. The up down.
They need some sort of bonus to their light options. So I feel like their disables are okay. Their heavies aren't bad, but they're very light centered, and there's just not a lot there. That, or they're in a shaman situation where there's something in hero tactics that's just not shown or explained well enough in their moveset for people to regularly access. But I don't know. I don't play the character.
Yeah. I mean, if you ever get your chance, they're a pretty solid character. Truly. Solid character. It's just people use them shittily. But up next is Warmonger, and I hate this player. I hate this character, but I love her because she's just a bad bitch, right? I'm gonna put her in A.
Warmonger, Apollyon?
Yeah. I have to put her in A.
I'll put her in A.
I have to put her in A mainly because her gimmick and her fucking attack delays always, and I mean always, fuck me up.
She has one of the longest weapons and some of the longest animations, and that makes it
And she has
insanely
armor
hard
on some of her shit too.
fucking time when she has hyper armor and unstoppables. Dude, if
Like,
everything wasn't mostly heavy centered, she'd probably be an S if she had like much better lights, which she really, really doesn't. They're very basic. But god damn, them heavy and the hypers are fucking annoying.
and that
truly.
extended side heavy dog.
And that's not even accounting for
Enough.
latency. Like, there's a difference in ping between you and her, and she's using those long swings. You're probably getting fucked up. Like, that shit's gross.
Look, dude, I'm
Like,
sleeping.
that damage is
Sheep.
nasty.
Sheep, enough. Please.
Yeah. Like, y'all aren't dirtbags or anything. I'd fight a lot of ones with y'all, but yeah,
Like, I see this
long-ass
character
animation
enough
with
to know that-
Unstoppable is fucking hard to deal with, truly.
Like this, I think Apollyon is popular not only because she's the villainess of the main campaign, but like because the kit is solid, dog. The kit's just fucking solid.
Like, y'all are one extra cancel heavy or
Actually,
light bonus to being an S
I'm not
tier,
gonna hold
like,
you.
honestly.
I want to put her in S tier just because, like, now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, she's easily accessible. She has great mix up, and her delays. Like, I think she's definitely S tier. Fuck.
I put her in A just because of her playstyle. I feel like I haven't seen enough people fully utilize her kit for me to want to give her S. She probably is on like numerically, but 9 out of 10 Apollyon Warmonger players don't play like that. Y'all will take like two things, which is mostly the hyper armor overhead
True.
and the side unstoppable.
Minority.
And that's kind of
I
your
was trying
bread
to get,
and butter.
I was trying to get on the
Like,
upper
it's
tier
not even a
players list.
disrespect thing.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll
I think
keep
she's
her in
a
A.
great character, but the majority of y'all just don't play her to her full potential, and I can clearly see that. And I've never even picked the character up.
Yeah, I'll keep her in A because once again, I was
But
thinking
she's
about the
sick.
minority
I
of
think her
gamer
moves are
players doing this
dope.
shit, bro.
She has some of my favorite drip in the fucking game.
True.
Like, she looks fucking sick as hell.
Her voice
Truly.
lines haunt me to this day.
Like, yeah,
Uh,
her voice lines are awesome. Her VA fucking killed it. But yeah, most Warlock players just ain't putting out the DPS they should be putting out.
You're not using the turbo property, her properly thing. All right. So up next is Griffin. Fucking Griffin.
Fatherless.
Enough. Bond, stop. Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you. Yeah. Dude, you got lucky. All right. So up
Warlock is
next,
cool.
is
Yeah,
Griffin. You said fatherless, or you just being?
Fatherless.
Are you
Fatherless.
serious?
Fatherless still.
Oh no.
And it's not the character, it's the players.
Oh,
Fatherless
Nigga,
shit.
we're talking about the character. Don't do that. I was like, wait a minute. I was gonna be honest and
I'm
just put him
not-
in fair
I'm
pick
not,
or S.
I'm not. Yeah, I was like, I'm not going.
Because actually, I would say S for my vote, and here's why. I feel like it's that kick. That kick confirmed in his goddamn combos after you land a light, I think 2 successive light or a light of any kind, and you get the kick off. It fucks you up, and you can't. There's only slim chances when you can dodge it, and it's only when you either deflect or you parry the initial startup, obviously. But like,
I also
if he didn't
can't
have that
name it,
kick,
but
what's up?
one of your side swings also tracks dodges. I don't know which one it fucking does.
It's the side heavy.
because that's not detailed in movesets, but that makes a huge difference on confirms for certain characters and whether or not you're getting punished for things. Griffin has that trackable side.
Yeah.
That shit makes it super hard, especially for me being a Nashua player. If I fuck up the deflect, I'm getting hit, even if I dodge the right direction.
And even if you
That
dodge
fucking
that,
sucks.
the follow up with the side hit is always the zone attack. Because it's fast.
Yeah.
It's truly fucking fast. It's like, it's fast and there's a lot of damage, and it's a perfect thing to follow up with after doing these side heavies of any kind.
And his overhead, because he has a long handled weapon, he's like Lawbringer, especially the overhead light will hit before a lot of unstoppables are actually going off, so you'll cancel their animation. Very hard to punish, truly. A good Griffin. And he, because of his kit with that fucking blade, he is a 1v4 character.
Yep.
Like, if I see a Griffin and my teammate comes to gank, I'm leaving. I'm not giving this man revenge.
Giving
You
this
can
man
kiss my
revenge
ass.
is the most stupidest thing. It's like
That
giving...
is one of the scariest characters with fucking revenge by far.
Actually, if
like
you look
top
at the,
3 in the game.
If you look
That
at the
shit's
people who
fucking-
are S tier in our little list, Lawbringer, Guan Yu, Zhang Zhang, and fucking Hitokiri, along with Griffin, are the worst people to get revenge because,
Like, you come in to jump them, I'm chucking a deuce. I want no fucking parts of it.
Like, dog,
wholeheartedly. The
especially
first time they
with Lawbringer.
deflect like 2 attacks and that meter's built to half. What's that meme? Dude put up his hands and fucking disappeared with the alien sounds. That's me. I'm gone. I'm
Right.
dust. I'm out. That shit is scary as fuck. They will shit on us. Shit on us.
Doo-doo.
Absolutely not.
Up next, we got Kyoshin.
Is there a tier lower than fatherless?
Oh, no.
Dude, I'm gonna be full biased on this one. Y'all are the most garbage character community in the game. It's not even close. Y'all are the worst niggas of all time.
As a Kyoshin.
And it's crazy because I think the character is actually really well designed.
The
I think you have a
saucy.
little too much. Because don't y'all have superior lights
Yes.
and the fucking counter?
They have superior
Why
lights.
the
They have
fuck
a
do you have
full-
both of those?
No, it's not a counter. It's a full guard.
Or the full guard, yeah.
Yeah, like,
There's no reason for that. That makes you so annoying because especially for anybody who has to cancel a
Gentle,
heavy.
who hurt you today?
Oh, it's personal bomb, and it's not even that bad, right? Because if you look at my brawl numbers, I can fight a Kyoshin, especially somebody of my skill tier. It's very hard for someone's character to carry against me because I'm here to actually learn, right? I'm not the kind of person that's just going to play the YouTube combo or TikTok combo that I see and stick to only that, like very surface level. I want to. I blame League, right? Like I'm going to read every character's kit. I want to try to understand their startups, where they normally punish, things they usually look for, and so for Kyoshins, that's usually the two things, right? They're either going to notice that they can always beat you with a superior light and constantly dash, and they don't necessarily attack on everyone just because they want to bait you. And then they have the fucking All Guard, which probably has one of the quickest up times into a light that I have seen.
Dog.
Because like when Black Prior and Warlord do their guards, you can punish that shit. But if you animation something that's not quick, that you have to start, like for example, I play Shaman, right? To do my good grabs, I have to heavy cancel into it. The time it takes for that heavy to go off, he's already light attacked me and does the triple strike combo. Like I can't punish when he all guards because I have a long animation. You have to have a character equally fast to even break past that barrier. That is why I hate that character. It's insane. Y'all don't like to 1v1. Y'all are quick to leave a match if someone actually downloads you. You love fucking ganking. Y'all emote more than anybody. I can't stand y'all. If y'all weren't so shitty, 100% S tier character. Like, insane design.
I can't fight
But
any
boy,
of
are
these
y'all a
accusations
bunch of
because
bitches.
the way I main
Can I
Kyoshin when he
stand up?
dropped, and like Gentle, would
That
you
shit's fucking
would you
nuts.
believe at launch his full guard was slower?
Hell no.
Yeah, when he first dropped his full guard was so slow it didn't serve a purpose. And I think when I stopped playing after that for maybe a couple months to a year, and I came back, his shit was like fast as fuck, boy. I was like, oh damn, okay, I can get behind this, and I did. But yeah, like it's I don't agree with him having a superior light. I do feel like him being a light punishing character, it makes sense, you know. I totally am here for him just to stop all the light spammers, but his startup time for that full guard shit, especially when you hit him with a mean mix and you already see him like in the animation to attack, and all of a sudden you attack and as you hear ting and
Yep.
so you what the fuck, nigga? Ah! And I'm getting hit with the motherfucking anime cuts. It's
Yeah.
just too much. It's just too much.
Like he whittles you down really quick. But I tell you what, if you
What's
get caught
up,
with
breeders?
I mean, in my case, you're not wrong. I regret nothing.
Sorry, I had to bonk him in particular. Anyway, no, hold on, wait,
Yeah.
motherfucker. Anyway, all right, now back to what we were saying.
The only saving grace I'd say is if y'all do get parried, you're getting the shit beat out of you. 100%. Like, God help you if Kyoshin gets parried. Y'all getting fucked up.
All right,
Well,
all right. So, up
Y'all the niggas I
next-
bark at more than anybody. Truly. I'll be barking at Kyoshin.
I wasn't bonking you, Bonbon. I was bonking motherfucking 40. Don't worry, I specified. I said, hold on, let me bonk him. up next is the pirate, and I ain't gonna hold you. I think she needs more mix-ups, personally.
I think she currently, I don't know. She's super gimmicky, but like in a bad way that she needs a rework. Because she is very gimmick centered with the way she's designed. She's too mid centered with her movements, so she needs to be updated. So yeah, she has more mix up options because there's relatively none. Because if you're not using the blick, why are you playing the character? But if you are using the blick, you're
relying
very,
on
very
it.
predictable.
I'm about to say, you rely on that blick way too much because one fucking parry, I stop your whole. Oh, you can't shoot me now, but no, I do see. If Paul was here, I can hear him like ranting and raving because if you're in the right hand, shut up. I'm talking about the majority of people who just side spam the fucking that enhanced bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially like dodge-centered characters. I typically watch y'all get your ass beat for someone who has a lot of movement. Like it's kind of hard. Like it's cool, but like yeah, I don't know. I think they need some animation cancels maybe, or something like what's it called? Like Shaman or Nashua, where there's a guarantee when they do particular movements. Or hell, maybe even give options on the blick. Like you could give her maybe a slower animation, kind of like a Polyon, where she does like a spinning shot or something to a side that she moves. Like they need to think out of the box with her. I think they're being way too linear.
Personally,
I think it's later too literal.
I think it's criminal that there's no pistol whip in this goddamn kid at all. Like, I just think that's criminal because I got a blick, an old-fashioned blick, a flintlock. You feel me? Keep that thing on my hip. You know what I'm saying? But I want to kind of like, you know how Zhang motherfucking chokes people out and then slaps them on their forehead. Yeah. I just want to I don't even care if it doesn't do damage. I just want to be like, bitch, who you thought this was?
Like you know her being like the pirate queen and having her blunderbuss with her, I feel like her presence and her movement should be as commanding as Warmonger's, but it's not. She lacks something. She definitely needs a she's like Raider. She needs a push. I'm just not entirely sure what the push is.
Honestly, that's a good point. Just to mink after the feint or something. Yeah, like something. But having just the side heavies and everything being related to the side heavy, and then obviously you get a free shot off. It's kind of, I'm not gonna hold you. Her gameplay is boring. That's why I don't play her as much. Even though I do feel like I can, I have dogged walk people with this character. But even still, like it's her cutlass ain't menacing enough.
She's that team that you know exactly what their kid is. They play the same playbook every season, but they're so good with it that their mindset is come stop us. That's Pirate Queen. Like you know what she's gonna do. It's just whether you can stop her or not.
Yeah.
And that's what really holds her back. She needs more options.
Up next on the list is Magi, and now that I've relearned Magi, now that I've learned Magi and how dangerous this motherfucker is. Personally, what Magi relies heavily on is the stance switch. For those of you who don't know, when you unlock his first feat or his second feat, I believe, you are able to apply debuffs to the opponent and buff yourself. So, what people would do is always put their hand on their shoulder, make them lean down, kick up the staff, and they would do a defense debuff. Then they will switch into axe mode, and then they would go ahead and do the shoulder check, and they would reduce their attack. I really feel like this character is solid and it was well thought out, but the only thing is a problem is that he's a hybrid, right? I feel like if they were just to put him in the heavy class and maybe give him just a smidge more attack speed for his lights, he would be a solid character, and I would definitely put him in fucking S tier. But I really do think he's a gimmicky ass dude, because once you stop him in his tracks by doing a bash of some kind or just waiting out his movesets and parrying him a lot, he can't really do anything on startup. So, and mind you, all the latest characters, Pirate Queen, Magi, Afria, or aka Afrika Leak, because that's what I call her, and Ocelotl, they're all hybrids they're all just hybrids. And so I'm like, okay, this is kind of a boring trend.
Now that you say that, also hyper armor that could have been something Pirate Queen could have access to. Would help her out a little bit too.
I don't remember if she has any or not, so I'm gonna hush my mouth right now.
Magi, I don't know much about because I don't see him often. It's more so what I've seen with you, and I've fought a few in brawls now. I feel like he's gaining a little bit of popularity over the last 2 weeks or so. Um, I put him in fair picks. I feel like a lot of my fights are really, really close with him, very intense. It's also just not knowing the full access of his movements between his two forms. I do think his staff mode is much more solid than his dual wield, which is awkward, especially for him to be a hybrid. I feel like there should be an extra effort on his part for both to have a very solid place in your fighting style where you're just constantly switching between them to throw off your opponent. And I think he should have feats more so like Nashua, where they're very specific to her character type. For example, she has one where you get a bonus on damage when you're fighting a person alone. She has another where you get a bonus on the attack after a dodge. I think he should have stance-based ones, not based around debuffs, but some sort of, what am I thinking of? Some sort of, I guess you could say buff or alternate to whatever stance he's in. Like maybe something's faster, maybe he gets move speed, maybe he has a damage reduction, maybe, I think he needs some sort of almost like RPG style where whenever you switch a stance, he's almost like a different person. You have to adjust to that. I don't think that's the case currently. And if that's not, why even have two stances in the first place? I think having to do some sort of movement, especially with a active feat, just defeats the purpose.
Yeah, because if you take out the debuff and the buff shit for Magi, the purpose of his staff stance is just to give him hyper armor, and also Piper has hyper armor. Okay, cool. She does have hyper armor. Thank you for that. But if you take away the feat, the staff is for hyper armor, while the axe mode is for unblockables.
Yeah.
But switching in between them, kind of for me personally, slows down the process. Only because when I'm learning this character right now, and like I keep on misclicking when I think that, all right, bet I'm gonna go from hyper armor to unblockables, and all of a sudden I switch back to the staff mode, and when I'm meant to be an axe, I'm like, ah, fuck. So like, it's there's more.
Okay.
There's more in this character's kit.
Hear me out.
What's up?
What if they treated him like Shaman, but for his weapon stances specifically, right? So Shaman does this thing where she backdashes or forward dashes, and she can do predatory stance, which is holding X to do a unstoppable. It's a bash if you don't have a bleed. It's a grab and a bite if you do. But she can cancel it into a running heavy, which she can do in open, and you can do these things back and forth. So you can kind of cancel it, or you can just push B to cancel them entirely. I think he should have something like that, where he back or forward dashes in a stance, which does a specific move that he can cancel into a transition into an attack of the other stance's weapon.
1 second. Let me address something in chat real quick. Carlson, Tuckered Out Carlson. Is this a new player's perspective type list? Yes, it's a hybrid of stuff. I've been playing this game for damn near 6 years, and I've just recently taught my friend Gentle like some of the mechanics in this gameplay. And we're just talking about all the characters, and I'm just having my input and his input mesh, and we're just jokingly making a tier list. As with all tier lists, it ain't nothing serious. It's just for funs and giggles and laughs. So that's why we label them as such. So, hopefully that answers your question. Now, Gentle, one more time.
I think they should have something like Shaman. The Shaman has a grab and heavy cancel, so it's like a lot of options, whether it's a heavy attack, a bash, or a grab that does the bite if you have the bleed, and she can cancel them into each other. So you can do a quick back dash, start the animation for the bash, cancel it, start the animation for the heavy, cancel it, maybe cancel both, maybe start them again, do it forward. Like you can really play with people to get them to kind of lose stamina trying to dodge it. I think he should have something similar where he does a backdash, starts like a animation with, say, his staff form. Then you could cancel it, start a new animation where he breaks it and does another attack, with his dual weapon form.
Oh, so
I think
like,
that would be so sick to have some sort of mix-up where you can threaten either weapon's fucking
so
startup to continue into another movement.
so hypothetically, I'm just going to not use Shaman as an example. So hypothetically, if he had like some type of twirl like Kyoshin, right? But it's like, okay, is he going to stay in staff mode and then break it off into axe mode and then slap it back? And it's kind of like if it was an anime term, it'd be like a little like arm, like a little movement of the blade just going around his body or some shit like that, right?
Yeah, like a
Oh,
twirl, right?
okay, I see
But
what
he
you're
could
saying.
cancel it and break it off, and then suddenly he's doing like a
Straight.
berserker style zone twirl with the dual weapons or some shit.
Oh, I'm not
And
gonna hold you.
either of these could be canceled into the other, or they could even do both and allow him to cancel it into grabs for people who have all blocks or counters. That way he has a lot of options, and you don't know which one's about to land.
Yeah, because I feel like when I played
That
this
I think could
character,
push him to like S tier, because I just think he doesn't have enough approaches to have two whole forms.
I do feel like when people just see me change forms, they're not frightened at all, and I feel like that's
Exactly.
kind of lame. But at the same time, it's all player skill based and shit. So like, if if I'm switching to axe mode, that means okay, I'm gonna just rely on unblockables. But if I say in staff mode, oh okay, well he's just gonna just spam his fucking light heavy combos. But even when I'm in light mode, I feel like I stay in light mode majority of the time, albeit in axe mode, because I rely more on just powering through attacks and people's startups. You know what I'm saying?
He just lacks fluidity. Truly, there's not enough fluidity to have two weapon forms. I think that there needs to be a lot more transition. That or give him some extra finishers. He's way too predictable for how he ends all of his chains. Maybe give him an extra option.
Hey yo, Gentle, listen to this. Tuckered Out Carlson said, I think it would be cool if you could fast flow into finishers from other stances. Like say you heavy staff into I'm sorry, say you heavy in staff and you can fast flow into axe and you press heavy to chain it. That is a fucking solid idea.
That's the whole premise. That's exactly what I mean, Tucker. Whether like that should be the entirety of his kit. When he does attacks forward, when he's trying to do gap closers and dashes, everything should be some sort of threat from either form where he can transition back and forth between
You know
movements.
who actually
That would make he would be so S tier. It'd be so fucking insane to fight him if he could do that shit.
You know
he
who...
wouldn't need unstoppables. He wouldn't necessarily need fucking hyper armor because the threat of literally any attack landing would be fucking monumental.
But you know what bum ass character can already do that? Highlander.
Exactly. That's probably part of the problem. Highlander's way too smooth for being a fucking heavy when this man's a hybrid and is not nearly as fluid. That's ass backwards. That is ass backwards as hell.
They're both hybrids.
He should have the same. Oh, he is?
Yeah, they're both hybrids.
Highlander needs to be a heavy, and this man needs to be faster. He needs to be way more smooth. 100%.
He's still S tier without the
insane.
Magi in his. Wait, you said Magi is still S tier without that. Without that, Magi is still busted even after damage nerfs.
I think he just needs something for the average player. Like the one tricks are probably rocking it, but he's just
I'm
weird.
seeing a lot of
and aesthetically he's weird. Like he's just like Humble said, I'm not scared when he stances West swaps, and it's like clunky when he does it.
Yeah,
it needs to be way more smooth.
It's just weird, and I do agree. His damage output, if this was like a serious motherfucking tier list, I would definitely, and we had like serious tiers and shit. I would say that his fighting capability as a character, he's up there. He's up there. He packs a punch when you know what you're doing with him. But in the hands of the masses of just like regular players who are just picking him up because they see a big ass dude with from the Egyptian culture, they're like, oh well, cool. Fuck it. Let me just do some crazy things. They give something for the average players the hero would have to get nerfed otherwise. How strong he is currently. Yeah. All right, I'm not gonna hold you. Up next is a Freaka League, aka Fira, and oh shit, Paul here. I'm not gonna hold you, dog. She's fucking strong, dude. She's strong, dude. Her mobility and her fucking bashes, she hurts, dog. I have to say that even if I'm joking, bro, like she just
Who we on now?
Freaka League, aka Afira.
Oh, that bitch is.
She's a solid character and she's easy to use, and I fought someone who was rep 39 with her and I didn't do shit. I couldn't do anything.
He had the entire vibe I expected Valkyrie to have. But she has the fluidity Magi should have. That bitch's attack strings are unrelenting, unceasing. There is no misstep. There is no fucking hiccups. There is, bro, no hesitation. She is efficient. Like, that shit is terrifying
Like
to fucking see.
and we're not even going to include her feats in this, and literally her feats is her feats, but still, like, we're not going to include that. But like, God, when she does her leg throws in middle of the combos, you're like, oh, this is going to be easy. I blink and I'm on my ass like, damn, how did I get here? Oh, I got thrown. Shit. And then not only that, she has an amazing gap close, Gentle. She has a free gap close without her feet being used. So pretty much if you hold well, since we're using Xbox controllers, if you hold back, I think it's either back and X, which is guard break, or forward and guard break, you get a free rush down and a goddamn bash for free. And it goes a long distance, dog. I'm talking about it goes at least 5 seconds. And I'm like,
yeah,
dog.
it's like Centurion and Valkyrie, but it's faster and there's an unstoppable mixed in.
Like dog, she
like it. And it tracks too.
Yeah.
So if you're like trying to run, she's gonna bust you in the back of the head.
Wait, what's that Naruto sound effect where they go, hey?
Literally, yeah.
Bro,
like,
it's over. It's over.
Because Shaman's dashing heavy is like that. Like, she will track you from across the fucking screen. But that shit being a bash is insane. There's no reason for that.
The only thing I'm glad it doesn't do is that I'm glad it doesn't reflect lights coming at it. Because if it did that, I would cry.
Agreed. 100% agreed.
Like, I'm glad. I mean, I feel like technically, I personally feel like Valkyrie should. Even that hoe-ass Conqueror should. But at the same time, I'm glad that you can stop them in their tracks. It's an option. But God, like that rush down, bro, is the scariest thing in her kit, in my opinion. And then after that is her fucking flips. Because boy,
as a Nashua Shaman player, God, dude, that is a mountain to pass. Like, they didn't even have to be good. If they're aggressive enough, I'm literally reeling back on my heels, trying to figure out what I got to do to get out of this. Insane character.
Actually, she's like my favorite of the Outlanders. I want 100%. To love our next and final character for this tier list, but like, this character scares me only because if you fuck around and don't execute, he will rise from the grave, scream from behind you, and you're already fighting 2 of his teammates, and he will just kill you. And this music we got playing on in the background, it's fitting for this Ocelotl ass dude, because let me tell you, bruh, I'm scared. I hate this character. I hate fighting against this character, dog. That's why whenever I see one, I make sure to cut their head off and impale them, whatever, so they're not resurrecting. If I forget, I have to pray. Oh, oh. The Bonbon's here. She hates the Ocelotl. But I have to pray that they don't have the perk equipped. I really feel like if they don't have the perk equipped, it's far and few in between, because like, dog, most of them have it. But this character, I would technically, because if you take away that feat and what they have, I don't think they're that strong.
I think 100% one trick, without question.
Yeah, I think they're a one trick because they're just side lighting, and I feel like their kit's fucking weird. They have a stance change, right? It's like the hunter stance, and it only goes one direction. You can use it as a dodge implement, but getting into said hunter stance is fucking weird. And I feel like with Shaman, since they have like a similar movement, Shaman's is quick as fuck. But it's like mad, so I kind of wish they would increase the speed of that, because if you can incorporate that more into his kit.
Isn't it the animation? Is that one where he does like that weird spinning sweep swing?
No, it's the one where he throws the club on his back and he's like crouched low. And apparently you're moving faster in that, but I don't feel like you're moving fast at all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I feel like if they incorporate more, like if they reduce the time into getting into that stance, and that way you can like prioritize more crazier mix-ups, because what people just do with this character, they just side spam lights. And I'm like, okay, reflect, or okay, parry, and then you're off kilter. And I also feel like something with the bashes is really weird. It doesn't feel right with Ocelotl. The first initial startup bash where he just bunks you in your nose, that feels great. But afterwards, like when I was playing this character, people somehow were able to dodge the second follow up. But when I tried to do the same thing with other people's ocelots and I'm fighting against them, I'm not able to dodge. So I'm trying to figure out like what kind of weird timing there is to avoid the throat slit and the initial like nose bash, right? It's weird. You know?
Me, Ocelotto is one trick because I know he's the newest character, so he won't see changes anytime soon. At least I wouldn't expect because of the way Ubisoft has been with them. They usually give it a lot of time before they consider like actually doing things with a character, which I understand.
There should be a Warriors then air quote. That's what they
just
call their podcast slash. They do a live stream event too, as I told you before.
okay. I have to start checking that out sometime because I am very interested in this game to see where they want to take certain characters, especially ones I think need reworks. But Ocelotto's in an awkward spot because as someone who plays Nashua, that's probably one of the easiest matchups for me. Like it's so telegraphed for his lights. He's one of the most consistent deflects I've ever had facing, regardless of skill tier. And the unstoppable is rather slow, but not so slow that it's warmonger scary, but not quick either. And it's so conditional that it comes the same way every fucking time. Like there's no mix up to it.
Like he's in a weird spot, and I know he's new, but I personally want to see.
If you're in fours and a good ganker, you're pretty high threat to be honest. But like especially once, I feel like he's very
Honestly, I have to disagree with that because even in fours, I'm always mopping them because they're doing the least amount of damage and they have to rely on their heavies unless they throw in their bash. Because, obviously I can't stop that when I'm fighting, 3+ people, including them.
When I saw his design, I expected unrelenting rushdown like Afira. And it's just not like that. And
no,
I think
we got a weird, like, stalker kind of character. Kind of like,
like
PK, but
the vibe is
better.
like a mix of PK and Shaman with some extra steps, but they did not hit the mark for whatever they were aiming for.
Wait, he got nerfed? The bash nerf to his opener, his ganks got a lot worse. What?
That makes sense because that's what I was saying. Like
shit.
Opening with the bash made it too easy in fours.
That's why it felt weird because when I played him on launch, he was good, but then all of a sudden I blinked and it's like something was fucking weird.
Yeah.
His opener bash used to reset hit stun. Oh,
I didn't know that, but I guess I was like, yeah, that bash was so fucking good, but nah, he's awkward right now.
He's awkward.
I don't know what he needs because I don't know what kind of character they want him to be. Because the entire category being hybrids, I don't know what their identity for this character is. And if it's something like Hunter, kind of Pharaoh, like Shaman, that's not the vibe I get at all. He's so awkward.
I get patient play styles, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, rewarding confirms, but I don't understand because they got rid of that whole turtle meta when they reworked the system. So like for this character to be in like this weird place of like funky animations and funky moves, I don't know. So hopefully something happens.
Okay. Hear me out. I know he's super new and he probably won't get touched any soon, but since he does have that weird one stance change, imagine they expand on that, right? Because does he dual wield 2 paddles? Like whatever that weapon is?
He has a spear and a spiked club.
See, I think he could also be some sort of stance changer, but like maybe the way he wields the weapons. He could have something where he's holding both weapons more forward, where he's super aggressive, kind of like a berserker style movement. And then the other one where he wants to have more of a patient defender kind of vibe, feels kind of like Magi with his staff, where he's kind of playing his dodges, using his unstoppables, some sort of movement like that.
Personally, I find it weird that he has a clubbed weapon with blades on it and he doesn't cause any type of bleed, or I could be mistaken because once again, I only played this character for a smidge.
I think he should have just dual wielded them bitches, to be completely frank. I think he should have been some sort of monstrous stalker rushdown who had like dual whatever that weapon is.
Personally, I feel like when I heard about this character, I was hoping for like a more feral predatory stance like Shaman has, but just like actual movement. Like, maybe this motherfucker's actually crawling at you on all fours or some shit. And then, he just gets some type of... You remember how Shaman has the execution where she just jabs you in the gut?
Yeah.
something like a hybrid of that and PK's gut stab, you know, or something. Like I was expecting more of a feral character when it came to this guy. It's just weird.
Also, his directional dashes should definitely use whatever weapon dashes that direction. So he should have like a light with a small weapon and maybe like a heavy with a spear.
Yeah, he doesn't have
They
a
should really play into what
doesn't have a
action happens
side
based on the
heavy.
hand it's in. Like it's so generic for what they
Damn.
made him look like.
Damn, not you and Tucker being in the same wavelength. He said boring and uninspired hero design, Ocelotto is such an L. But hear me out.
I like the idea, but they just
Cool
didn't
idea.
do anything.
Fire ass armor though. I'm biased. His armor
He
set.
got some drip though.
He got some drip.
Yeah, he got some drip for sure.
That deaf headdress, I want it. But other than that, yeah, kind of meh. But I think that's it. That's everybody. And for the people on YouTube, I want y'all to fill this comment section up because, like, I mean, this is all for jokes. Once again, in case I didn't say it in the first half of this video.
My name is General Lion. The non-joke is the fatherless scum category. Fuck all y'all.
Ooh.
Fuck all y'all.
God
It's personal.
God
See me
damn.
in the streets.
God damn.
And when you win, it won't hurt my feelings. I'll just say it's your character.
Damn. His design is visual. Yeah, his visual armor sets are pretty fire. But as a reminder, once again, this is from a person who's been playing this game, I would say 6 out of 7 years, because I did stop for 1 year. And this is my friend Gentle Lion, who is relatively new, and I just taught him how to play, what, 3 weeks ago,
Yeah.
4 weeks ago, a
I
month?
was like, I got to play on some free weekends way back when it was first introduced, because Xbox was doing those then, and have not touched it in the 6 or 7 years it's been out, and just started playing. I think I just hit like 30 hours or something.
So,
like
yeah.
that, I think.
Not
I'm
a-
pretty new.
This is
But
not
I
a...
love learning games.
Right.
There's a lot of cool characters here. There's a lot of really dope armor. I do enjoy what they've done because I do remember what it looked like. I'm glad that they have big PvE options, but plenty of options for PvP characters. I love the incorporation of AI options as well as players, the separation of normal and ranked, having an arcade mode, having a full-on campaign. I think the amount that they've done with this game gives access to a bigger crowd of fucking player levels or skill levels that they never otherwise would have had. And that's beautiful. Not enough games do that. So hats off to them for that for sure.
Look at him. But once again, this is not like a ultra hyper serious tier list. As I mean, personally, I ain't even big in the For Honor community. I ain't no popular streamer. I just play this game to talk shit and just be better than people who I beat. So, and also I play this game for fashion. You feel me?
I'll probably playing this game a lot. So if y'all ever in someone's For Honor stream and you hear barking in the comms, it's me. It was me. I was definitely doing that.
But I really do appreciate it. So before I close everything out, let me read what Tucker Doubt said. Let's see. Hey, the first message. All right, cool. I have said this. His stance. I have said this stance. His reveal that he is super poorly designed. Every Outlander is supposed to have a gimmick, and I guess his gimmick is infinite chaining. Like all the Outlanders, each have something unique about them. But Ocelotto just has nothing. Has a nothing burger. I love that. It's a nothing burger. Everything we've seen before, and no, I don't count his tier 1 as something unique, as it's nothing to do with his kit. That's fair. Like when it was found how his bashes reset hit stun, like maybe his gimmicks to be ultimate ganker, but nope, that was nerfed. So like, what even is he? The hero is just bland and unstringed to me, and after the nerf, when he is confirmed to follow up, light makes him feel even more meh. And I haven't played him since trying him once after the nerf, which sucked because I love his fashion. They could have done so much more with him, and fuck it, I would have taken the shitty ass ideas Redditors were saying with making him a bleed hero. I mean, honestly, I thought that was the point, because the weapon itself in design, it's fucking serrated. All their weapons back then did nothing but bleed damage and stop you from your natural healing properties as a person. Like you couldn't heal. So I thought when this character was gonna come out, he's gonna be bleed heavy, but no, it's kind of meh. Let's see. Also, fuck the Hunter stance. It's shitty gank move, and I hate it with a passion. I hate how it's a ganking move only, and it blows, and it feels terrible when it. Yep, it's a lame. It only goes one direction. The dash, I mean, the dodge you get when you do the hunter stance is minimal at best. It's akin to, no, actually, I would say it's worse than the Nobushi's hidden stance, because at least when you do the hidden stance perfectly, you feel like a goddess or a god. You know what I'm saying? But the hunter
Honestly,
stance
it's
is
worse than
weird.
Shaman's predatory stance because you can do all sorts of cancels and shit with it, and the bite is fucking nuts. But that has relatively no upsides.
Right. Like, and faster walk speed is also cool. I walk fast for no reason when I literally doesn't ducking. Yeah, I don't feel his movement speed has changed when he's in Predator. I'm not Predator stance, Hunter stance. Like at the end of the day, it could be better. I feel like for a character that just released, you should not have to throw this man back into hunting grounds. I feel like whoever you have in your beta testing, closed testing, who have been playing this game along with side the developers, should just like relook at this character. But they need to rework PK first. But as with always, YouTube, thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to also join in this rant or conversation, feel free to leave a comment. I do my best to make sure to read all comments and like everything. If you come after my neck, be prepared, because I will come after yours. It's not that serious. It's a game. And we have fun. So, see you in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe, share, put it on Reddit, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.